Alright, so one thing that Mr. Beast is often accused of is doing the good deeds that he's known for doing for an ulterior motive, whether that would be clout, whether that would be, you know, giving away a car for a tax write-off, whether that would be for painting an image of who he is, when in reality, behind the scenes, he's a really bad guy. You know, people speculate that he's a horrible person and that he's actually doing everything nice in his life to compensate for some bad shit that he's hiding. I have made countless videos discussing the way that people theorize Mr. Beast is secretly evil and how insane these people truly are. One of the best examples of this, and an example that I think truly shows you how insane these people are, is when Mr. Beast went to Africa last year to give 25,000 sneakers to locals in Africa who didn't have sneakers, and people on Twitter were basically saying that, well, he must be doing this because he's secretly racist. The claim was that he was only doing this nice deed for the local Africans because of his, like, racist guilt or his white guilt or something like that. Yeah, as if Mr. Beast was the person who told Rosa Parks to give up her seat on the bus or something. Who do you think this person is, dude? But this issue of content creators doing nice deeds and people presuming that they're only doing it to virtue signal or to look good, or that there's any sort of ulterior motive behind people's good deeds, is not a new phenomenon. People think that when a creator will do a giveaway, that they're doing it to boost their channel. People think that when creators really do anything nice, that it's usually being done to serve their own interest in some way or another. Now, some people believe this just out of pure cynicism and the fact that they just don't trust anybody, but others believe it because there's a history of creators who have done this sort of stuff, like creators who have done fake gift card giveaways in order to get their channel popping, like Derv, if you remember that kid from the earlier YouTube times. And that brings us to the subject of today's video, Moist Critical Penguinz0. I know you know who that is. If you say you don't, you're lying. I can tell when you're lying. You sweat pretty bad and it smells. But Moist Critical, apart from being able to somehow get millions of views on every single video he posts, also finds time to live stream. And on this stream, sometimes he'll give his viewers money. How this works is that he has a Google form in the stream chat that people can click on. They put in their name, they put in how much money they want, and they type why they want the money. There's usually about 20,000 responses to the form, you know, 20,000 people saying like, oh, I want this much money and this is why I want it. And by the end of the stream, Moist Critical is giving away thousands of dollars to random people in his chat. Now, mind you, there's no verification that these people are actually using the money for what they want. Some person could say, oh, I need $1,000 for rent, and then it actually turns out they're going to Walter White to re-up on some of that crystal, that blue sky crystal. And Charlie knows this. He's acknowledged it several times that a lot of people who say that they are spending the money on one thing don't actually spend it on that. But in his eyes, there's enough people being honest with what they're going to spend the money on to make it worth it for him. Now, obviously, Charlie is super rich, and I really mean super rich. I mean, think about how much money you think he has. Now triple that. Now quadruple that? Yeah, that's how much money he actually has. And I don't have any problem with that. You know, there is some people out there who just hate that people are rich. They're like, oh, rich people suck. Like Hassan Abi, even though he himself is rich, hates rich people. But a more common thing that I've noticed people believe is that when somebody is rich and they give money away or they do something charitable, that their generosity is not seen as something good, but it's just like, oh, well, you have so much money, so it's like you're giving away nothing. They're like, yeah, he gave away thousands of dollars, but to him, that's nothing. It's like, are you serious right now, bro? Keep in mind, people that criticize rich people for not giving away enough money, quote unquote, literally don't give away any money themselves. I'm not even trying to glaze the super rich people out there or anything. I'm just saying, like, you must have had to actually fail elementary school gym class if your main criticism of people that are super rich is that they don't give enough money to charity. Now, recently, Moist Critical has been under fire for these streams because it is tax season and he's been doing more of these streams recently. So people believe the reason he's doing more streams and giving away more money is because he can actually use these donations to people as a tax write-off. He's basically going to save money on his taxes by giving away money to people. That's the conspiracy. Now, if I had to guess, because I know a lot of you guys lie about your age when you make your Google accounts, I would presume probably 60 to 80% of the people watching this video do not pay taxes, and they don't think of taxes this time of year. This time of year is just like springtime, you know, they get their pollen allergies. It's that time of year where their eyes get super red from their allergic reactions, and then their mom is like, have you been smoking weed? Your eyes are so red. And you're like, no, I'm just, you know, I haven't taken a Claritin. But I'm gonna try to make this video a teeny bit educational, so when tax season comes around and you have to pay your taxes and Uncle Sam is asking for his cut, one thing that you can do to save money on your taxes is deduct your business expenses. So if you run a business or you are in any way spending money to make money, you can deduct those spendings on your income so that your income, what you're getting taxed on, is less. An example for me would be like, oh, I need to buy a new computer because obviously everything I do involves a computer. So I'll just say like, okay, I spent $2,000 on a computer, I'm gonna subtract $2,000 from whatever I made last year, and then that sum is gonna be what I get taxed on instead of the original amount. And the accusation that's being made against Moist Critical is that he's giving away all this money so that he can subtract the amount that he's giving away from his income so that his income gets taxed less.
Hey Charlie, no tax write-off? I mean free money giveaway tonight? So it seems like there's people that think me giving away random amounts of money to random viewers on stream is a tax write-off. Do you not know how that shit works? Do you know how tax write-offs work? Because I can't write those off.
We'll get into why this isn't true in a minute, but I want to just say right off the bat, like, who actually cares if it is true? I mean, okay, let's say he's giving away money to people in his audience because it'll help him in terms of taxes. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but if he gets a benefit off of giving away money to his audience, doesn't everybody win? I mean, you could call his intentions into question and say, like, well, are you doing this because you want to help people or because you want to help yourself? I mean, sure, you can ask that question, but ultimately, I don't know if it really even matters what he says in response to that. Like, even if he is doing it to help himself, the output is he still does help others. People who actually need the money are going to get it. I mean, imagine someone who needs to pay rent and actually gets $800 from Moist Critical because they filled out a Google form and they literally get $800 sent to their PayPal and they can pay rent. Do you think that person is going to care whether or not Charlie is doing that to help himself at the end of the day? No, of course not. Anyway, let's talk about why this is straight up wrong. I'll explain it, and then Moist Critical, I'll play the clip of him explaining it. So, simply put, the government doesn't give a shit about gifts or donations. If I send my friend $500 because it's his birthday, yeah, sorry to say that $500 is not getting deducted from my income. And even though Moist Critical is a YouTuber slash streamer and he gives away this money on stream, so the giving away money is kind of part of the entertainment, ultimately it doesn't matter because he's just giving these individuals gifts and that is not deductible on taxes. So these people are straight up wrong, and it's a little bit astounding to see the level of stupidity it takes to write this in someone's stream chat probably several times instead of taking 5 seconds to Google this and see if you're even a little bit correct. And it's so confrontational too. They're basically accusing him of this, right? They're not even asking the question of like, hey, is this a tax deductible thing you're doing? No, they're just straight up accusing him like, oh yeah, we know why you're doing this. Like, no, you don't actually, because you couldn't use Google. The thing too is like, I also would say there's probably a greater than 50% chance the person who had written those messages in chat, or whoever would write those messages in chat, is no older than age 18. So it's like these hive mind of people who don't even pay taxes and have no knowledge of how the tax system works who are actually speaking the loudest. You know, my mom always used to tell me, it's better to shut your mouth and look stupid than to open your mouth and prove it. These people basically just do that in their free time and they air out their dirty laundry in front of tens of thousands of people. And when Charlie calls them out, I mean, he's absolutely in his right to do that. Matter of fact, I would say he should go off harder, because this also isn't a new phenomenon. Ever since he started doing these giveaway streams, people have been accusing him of doing this for some sort of ulterior motive. And it's even gone so far to the point where people will use the Google form that you're supposed to use to fill out what you want and how much money you need for it, to basically use the form to just send hate mail to Charlie and be like, oh, I know why you're actually giving away money, you know, so he'll actually see their message because he won't read it in chat or something.
What I read today is about how the giveaways I do on stream, where I just have viewers fill out a form, tell me how much money they want, what they're using it for, and then I go through randomly pure fucking RNG and just pick people and then give them that money they requested, is actually a sinister tax write-off. I am using it for a nefarious purpose. There's actually a lot going on behind the scenes that make this a really bad thing and me a bad person for doing it. I really feel like the people that keep parroting, the giveaway streams are all just a tax write-off for Charlie, this is fucking foul. I'm pretty sure they just heard that term either from their parents during like an argument or something, or through just doom scrolling on Twitter and they see a bunch of people vomiting, regurgitating these completely wrong things into each other's mouths and just patting each other on the ass for the enlightenment. You can Google this information and within the first 4 results get the official response. Can you write off donations to individuals as some kind of charity tax deduction? The answer is a resounding fucking no. Gifts to individuals are not deductible. Only qualified organizations are eligible to receive tax-deductible contributions. And since I'm so confident you don't know what tax deductions are, you just have heard the term tax write-offs, I'll go ahead and explain that a tax write-off is the same thing as a tax deduction here. And I'll go ahead and define the term for you as well. A tax deductible is an expense that an individual taxpayer or a business can subtract from their adjusted gross income. The deductible expense reduces taxable income and therefore reduces the amount of income tax owed. Now there is something kind of like a giveaway expense that can be used as a write-off, but as I understand it, you can't deduct the value of gifts you make, and this usually applies to products, and usually products that apply to advertising your business. I couldn't find too much information on just giving away money itself to a bunch of different people, mainly just if you're giving away items such as pens, coffee cups, that kind of shit. Those are deductible.
Anyway, I think this situation is not unique in the sense that a lot of creators have had to deal with this nonsense where viewers or people accuse them of doing good things for their own benefit, and I'm a little tired of seeing it, especially from someone like Moist Critical when he literally is just giving away money on stream. It is very stupid, but with that all being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're at all new to the channel. Follow my social medias, links are all down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.